Hi everybody, and thanks for joining our Construction T-Level TMC live event for the Manchester College. I'll shortly be passing you over to Andy Addy, who is the head of the construction department at the Manchester College. Andy is going to provide you with a showcase of the T-Level in construction qualification and our Industry Excellence Academy for Construction. If you do have any questions at any point, you can ask them in the live Q&A box, which is just to the right of your screen, and we will answer as many of the questions as we can at the end. I'll now pass you over to Andy to get the session started. Hi, Andy.
Hello, good evening and welcome everybody. I'm here this evening with our assistant principal, Chris Wright, who's the senior manager responsible for automotive construction and engineering. We're going to do a short presentation on our construction T-level offer starting September 21 and the Industry Excellence Academy, and Chris and I will be available to answer any questions at the end of the presentation. The T-level in construction is a new qualification introduced by the government across the country for vocational qualifications to raise the standard and quality of vocational education in colleges nationwide. As part of our commitment to T-levels, Manchester College has created Industry Excellence Academies in the different departments that are going to be running the T-level programmes. In our Industry Excellence Academies, you'll receive courses that benefit from co-delivery and co-development with employers, either a level 2 or a level 3 qualification. The level 3 qualification will be the T-level, a placement with an industry employer of at least 15 days, and it will be 42 days if you're on a T-level programme. Sessions will be delivered and supported by industry experts, and there'll be visits from industry experts as guest speakers who are at the forefront of their sector to support the delivery of student courses on the T-level. The T-levels, one of the key T-level focuses is industry standard live briefs, where you'll be given an assignment or assessment to do that involves actual industry related activity, research and report production in order to better prepare you for employment. And there'll be a dedicated employability and partnership coordinator alongside the courses to help your development and links with employers, and a dedicated employability session to develop your wider skills and knowledge to prepare you for employment after your studies. Our department in construction has an Industry Excellence Academy that's comprised a team of 31 staff across a range of construction trades and skills and management. They will prepare you for specific trades across a range of trade areas, which we can talk about shortly. And we can prepare you, of course, for construction management through the T-level in design and surveying up to HNC level. We also offer engineering courses at level 2 and level 3. The T-level for those is not due until after September 21, though. Around 450 young people are currently studying construction, built environment and engineering courses at the Manchester College, and our tutors are experts with considerable industry background in their trades, skills and management experience, and they are trained and qualified tradespeople, engineers or managers who support our students in their studies towards their level 3 qualifications. The construction tutors have all worked in industry and possess high levels of skill. They support students to develop individual specialisms and professional expertise ready for working in the construction industry. The construction and built environment teams include tutors with on-site management experience with some of the largest industry companies that are out there, and we have partnership arrangements with those companies for placing students for employment links as well. They are aspiring to high academic qualifications equivalent to A-levels and strong industry links to prepare our students either for university or for stepping into roles in industry. But the tutors are not just industry experts. We pride ourselves on being a student-centered department which is focused on supporting students to develop the best skills they can to prepare them for working life. As a 16 to 18-year-old taking our study programmes, there are a range of elements that you will take regardless of which area you choose to specialise in. So all students taking a construction industry T-level will have a main qualification in an area of construction, the built environment or engineering. All students will have the opportunity to study English and maths up to GCSE level, and this will be a requirement if you have not yet reached your GCSE grade 4 or above. And all students will be provided with a considerable work placement opportunity that allows them to develop their wider understanding of their qualifications as they apply to the workplace when they go out to employment. The T levels are the equivalent to A levels for vocational qualifications. They are a high quality technical alternative to A levels that are more academic along with more skill based to provide students with the foundation on which to build a career in the industry that they choose to study in. They combine a large amount of classroom learning with a considerable 45-day industry placement that will set you on a path for a job or give you the opportunity to pursue the construction field to further study in university or a university level apprenticeship. A T level is planned to be equivalent to 3 A levels, and it's an opportunity to continue studying while gaining a broader insight into what it is like to work in a certain sector with the large industry placement. And it gives you the opportunity to specialise as you go through the course later on in your studies. If you are moving on from your GCSE studies and want to specialise in a particular industry, the T level gives you a great platform on which to build wider knowledge of the industry that you've chosen and help you prepare for further study and employment. In construction specifically, the T level offers 3 key pathways for students to choose to specialise in once they start in September 21. The image of the construction industry as one with tradesmen working with their hands is rapidly being overtaken by highly educated, skilled craftsmen and managers who work both with their hands and their heads in a high-tech industry that needs highly motivated and highly qualified individuals in order to support that industry. Our 3 key pathways starting in September 21 are the built environment associated pathway in design, surveying and planning for construction, the building services engineering for construction, which will include electrical installation, plumbing, air conditioning and other service sectors that help buildings function for human habitation, and the on-site construction pathway, which is focused on site carpentry and in future will include other on-site trades. The 3 pathways have very different focuses and they're intended to provide you with a range of opportunities around project management in the first case, building engineering in the second, and trade skills in the third. They're equivalent to A-level qualifications, not just in the UCAS points that they'll provide you, but also in the level of difficulty and challenge that they will provide to students. They are challenging for students, both academically and practically, and are intended to prepare students for higher level study and a role in industry very quickly after they completed their qualification. Because of that, entry requirements will be similar to A-level courses, with maths and English being key requirements for entry into T-level qualifications at level 3, and a similar GCSE profile for A-level as you would require for A-levels. So we're looking for a strong academic profile with a strong interest also in practical work. What we will be offering in more detail within the T-level offer are some particular areas of specialism. In the first year of our on-site construction pathway, we will be focused on carpentry. This will provide students with an initial 1-year training programme leading to a 2-year full T-level. It gives 16-year-old school leavers the opportunity to study in preparation for a full T-level beyond level 2. The programme will take a more academic route than traditional site trades, while also developing the practical skills necessary to practice carpentry to a high level. We will be offering students the chance to take a level 2 transition course if you don't yet have the entry requirements for a full T-level, or if you do, there'll be the opportunity to transition straight into the level 3 T-level. It will prepare you for a technical equivalent of A-levels and provide opportunities to access employment, apprenticeships or degree level study at the end of your programme. The key skills that the on-site construction programme will offer to you will be hand skill based activities. These are not just skilled labourers any longer. There are key academic understandings needed for successful completion of the programme, including a greater focus on design and drawing and technical drawing on computer and 3D design in order to achieve the T level. You will therefore need a knowledge and understanding of the craft, both the hand skills and the design and planning. And in that respect, it will be more academically demanding than the traditional hand skill based craft qualification. But you will still learn both the hand skills and the underlying theory required to practice as a joiner. We're now going to show you a short video about our site offer in construction trades, and then we'll go on to talk about the design and surveying and the building services opportunities.
I went on 3 work placements at Ryder Leather, Bucknell, Waits and Langdale Road. During that time, I did shadowing the project management. From these placements, I learned how to interact with people and how to just work out the industry works. The best part was just to interact with everyone and just learn new skills and how just everything works, basically. So when I finish, I'd like to do project management and construction. And I feel this placement just made me realise how much I want to do it. Just be open-minded, ask as many questions as possible, and don't be shy. That's what I think is the best thing to do.
Liam has been on our T-level preparation programme, supporting him to understand the industry better and to help us understand the challenges that students face with these potential new programmes from September 21. In addition to the site carpentry, the other trade-based qualification that we offer at T-level transition level 2 and fully at level 3 going forward is electrical building services. This course is open to selected school leavers who may want to study the new T-levels from September 21. It covers the technical diploma in electrical installation and prepares students for the construction T-level in building services. The first pathway that we will open in building services will be electrical. This will again be the equivalent of doing a full A-level programme of 3 A-levels, and that's about the size of the qualification as well. There will be a lot of study, a lot of independent study, as well as the employment work experience opportunities that come with the T-level programme. The key areas of study in the T-level in building services electrical will be around electrical and data supplies in industry and in buildings. Later we will be introducing a plumbing pathway, but that will be after September 21, and a range of other human comfort facilities such as refrigeration and air conditioning. The first rollout next year in September 21 is for the electrical. Again, there is a greater focus on design and planning as part of the students' development in their understanding. There are also some new elements compared to the traditional electrical courses, such as installation of internal data wiring, security and design elements, as well as computer-aided design and management linked to modern building design software, such as building information management software. Again, the qualification will include more technical and academic aspects than traditionally has been taught to electrical installation students, and so will help prepare you both for further work in the industry or for university study once you get beyond the T-level. We're just going to give you a quick tour. The final pathway that the construction department offers at T-level is in design, surveying and planning for construction. This builds on the old built environment qualifications Again, we will be offering both a level 2 T-level transition program, and we'll be offering a T-level. The date on that slide, I'm afraid, is wrong. It's from September 21. You'll be able to take a level 3 design and planning pathway, assuming you have the entry requirements for that. This course will provide an in-depth introduction to the construction industry principles and practices to prepare students to step up to the T-level in construction, design and planning. And the T-level will give you a range of insights into career options such as quantity surveying, architecture, design and installation in buildings. Some of the additional skills that will be involved in studying for a T-level in design, surveying and planning will be stronger links to civil engineering projects, increased focus on graphical design, 3D design, CAD and BIM, which is building information modelling, which is the industry standard for teams to use in the planning, design and creation of new construction projects. Surveying and design units are at the core of the new qualification to support students with both the project management and the planning and surveying of construction projects. And a lot of the assessment scenarios will be built on real life projects that have already taken place, which you will study in order to better understand both the challenges and the reality of construction projects at scale. This will help prepare students who are interested in a career in construction project management and for studying at HNC and beyond at university level. It will give you an understanding of a wide range of jobs in the construction industry. A lot of students aren't aware of the sheer wealth of job opportunities that exist in construction and the different types of jobs that are available. The aims and content, excuse me, the aims and content of our T-level programs are intended to provide students with an understanding of construction management, site management and project management, as well as the associated professions around design and planning, surveying and building regulation, as well as knowing what the role of on-site craft and building services would be in any construction project. Beyond the T-level, we are looking at your progression, and the aim is to provide you with opportunities to focus on the development of higher level skills, both technical and management, so that there is more academic as well as practical understanding of roles in the construction industry. We'll be developing your practical knowledge and understanding and the skills that underpin performance in the workplace, whether that's manual skills or management skills. And these qualifications will prepare you for employment, further training and further professional development in the construction industry. You may opt to go after the T-levels onto a degree programme, or perhaps into a degree apprenticeship at level 4 and above. These are becoming more common routes for people entering the construction industry because of its high-tech nature and the development and the need for a more educated workforce. I hope that's given you some insight into our T-level offer. Chris and I will be available now to answer any questions you might have about T-level programs and our particular offer. Thank you, Amy. Hello.
Sorry, I was on mute. I just said thank you very much, Andy. That was great, really informative. I hope everybody enjoyed the presentation this evening. We have had quite a few questions that have come through on the chat box. So I'll just start from the top. Somebody said, what if I choose a specialism and then change my mind? Answer that one.
OK, we would want to make sure students were on the right programme. That camera's in a poor position there, isn't it? We would like to make sure the students are on the right programme. We would support students to choose a different pathway as long as we weren't too far into the course to ensure that they found what it was that they were looking for. It's not easy choosing one of these pathways, I think, at 16, and we would want to make sure that we supported you both to find out if that pathway was for you and any change that you needed. And as long as we weren't too far into the year, any catch-up could be supported.
I think something I would add to that is that part of the process of joining the T-level or indeed the transition year programs is something that we call a summer school. Now the wording is slightly misleading because it might not actually take place in the summer, but it's a program, a short duration program, which is 100% online. And what it's designed to do is introduce you to the subjects that you might be studying. Introduces you to the teachers, give you some experience of how working on Microsoft Teams actually works in a learning environment, but it introduces you to the subject, the content of the various programs to give you a real opportunity. So almost like suck it and see basically before you actually sign up, so that hopefully, as Andy suggests, you know, we get students on the right course, on the right qualifications, on the right subject areas. So yeah, so look out for the you know, the announcements about the summer school, because that's all part of the process about understanding what it is you'll be studying and how you get access to the programs.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. There's another question which has come in about how do you prepare learners for employment?
Okay. One of the things that we would do as part of your employability hour that I mentioned at the top of the slideshow would be to improve students' understanding of the requirements of behaviours in the workplace, help support them with their applications and their CV preparation. And then, if you like, we've got that 45-day work placement on the T level, which is almost a dress rehearsal for full employment. So we'd be supporting you to take those steps into employment initially. And we know from the programs that we've started to run in the last 2 years, just what a huge benefit it's been for students who've stepped in to an extensive work placement on what we call our scholarship programs, where they come into college for 3 days a week and take 2 days in the workplace. Students who've done that for the first year have come back with an astonishing level of development and a great understanding of their role in the workplace and the opportunities available to them. And of course, they develop some really good habits with regard to employment practice, which ranges from turning up on time, something as simple as that, to working well with colleagues and professional individuals in the organisations they've been placed in.
Again, to add to what Andy said, if I just read you a short extract from the course leaflet, it says you'll regularly interact with people from the construction industry, both inside and outside the classroom or workshop. This is done via guest speakers and industry experts visiting and taking your classes. The use of employer set projects, site visits and relevant field trips, plus your industry placement. In short, if you're on a T level or a transition program, you will be rubbing shoulders with experts from the industry almost on a weekly basis, and that regular interaction gives people the confidence to go out and undertake those industry placements or work placements with confidence, as Andy suggests.
Brilliant. Thank you very much to both of you. Somebody has asked, which option only has 12 places available?
I'll answer that. Okay, so Andy mentioned the scholarship program, which was our blueprint for the T levels. So we wanted to try out what a T level was going to look like, and we gave 12 places available to that. So that is what has 12 places. We're looking to recruit about 14 students per pathway per T level come September. So we do anticipate that competition for places will be high. In summer last year, we had those 12 places available on the scholarship program, and we had 95 applications to join the summer school to get a place on that program. As it turned out, we managed to get some additional employers and some additional scholarship places. So instead of 12, we ended up with 23. But the intention at the moment is to run with 14 students in the 3 groups of T levels. So competition will be high for those places because it's an outstanding program. When you look at some of the names that students will be working with and some of the other benefits from the curriculum guarantee that we have, such as Andy's already mentioned, the 315 hours of industry placement. We're guaranteeing 20% of the delivery will be done by industry experts from industry, not necessarily our teachers. You'll receive bespoke modules that are designed and developed by those industry experts to plug the gaps to make sure that when students leave and join the industry, they have all of the skills that they require. So yeah, it's a really attractive program with lots and lots of opportunity to open lots and lots of doors for careers in the construction industry.
That's brilliant. Thank you very much. Somebody said, what are the what are the T-level entry requirements?
Do you want to do that one, Andy?
Well, the goal is that we are recruiting students with the similar kind of GCSE profile that you would recruit to A-levels, because that is the equivalent level of challenge that the T-levels are intended to provide. So we are looking at a couple of grade 6s and 4 grade 4s and above, and we would like students to have grade 4 in English or maths as a minimum, and it would depend a little bit on the rest of their profile. That's not untypical of entry requirements for most sixth form colleges for A-level programs. These are going to be academically as well as practically challenging qualifications, and we need students with a good, strong profile at school. So they need to be working on those GCSE results, because again, to reinforce Chris's point, these are going to be competitive places initially, and the stronger the profile, the more likely the student is to be accepted on the course.
However, I would again add that one of the reasons for introducing the summer school is to give us a more holistic assessment model of a student's suitability and capability. So it's not all about academic capability, because some of the things we want to assess in that summer school are students' creativity, their teamwork capabilities, their problem solving skills, their resilience, their people skills. So you know, yes, we do have entry requirements that, and as Andy describes, are quite strict, quite stringent, because it is you know, a high profile, highly demanding qualification. But having said that, that is not the be all and end all. There is a more holistic assessment that's taking place as well.
Yeah. That's great, thank you. Somebody has asked, what type of work do you complete on the T-levels?
Wow. It's very much geared around, the syllabus is very much geared around scenario-based learning. So, for example, in the design and planning, you might study a particular civil engineering project in some detail, ranging from the planning, design and surveying elements through to the construction and the management of that construction. In construction trades, in site carpentry, at the other end of the scale, you would still learn some of the traditional carpentry skills, but there's a greater demand for that you understand the role of site carpentry in the construction process, that you have an understanding of the maths and geometry around any projects that you undertake to a greater level than is currently required. So it is very much learning by project rather than learning by practical task, and it is seeing the relationships between parts of the construction job rather than focusing on your own particular element. So there's a need for the student to understand their role in the wider project, whether that is in site carpentry or in the design, surveying and planning pathway.
Brilliant, thank you. Somebody has asked, after I finish the scholarship, could I go to uni in another country?
Yeah. I think given that the government intends the T-level to be equivalent to A-levels and it will come with UCAS points, yeah. Yes, as somebody who supported students to apply for university places in places like Holland in a former life, this should have the same value with regard to the transferability of the qualification to other institutions and other countries. The challenge, if we're being honest, is that as a new qualification, they may not be familiar with it, and that's about making sure the marketing messages around T-levels are effectively communicated, and the government are rolling out a marketing strategy around T-levels going forward as well to better inform candidates for the September 21 intake, but it should be possible. Yeah.
Great, thank you very much. Somebody has said, how do you apply for summer school?
Well, as you will have noticed in the presentation, there was a short video that that Andy showed. as part of the normal application process, if you apply to join the T-level through the normal college systems, then we will pick that application up and contact you, give you the information about the start dates of the summer school programs, and make sure that you get all of the information to make your application to the summer school. So in short, if you apply for the T-level or the transition programs through the normal application process, we will pick that up and make sure that you're informed about the summer school.
That's lovely, thank you very much. We've got just a couple more questions left. Where's it gone? What are the key differences between the 3 construction pathways?
If I could say a little bit first, and then I'll pass to Andy. I would say that the design, surveying and planning is very much geared at progression into university or management roles within the construction industry. The types of roles that we would anticipate students to take up are things like surveyors, architects, quantity surveyors, quality surveyors, project managers, those types of roles. Whereas the on-site construction, which initially is going to be carpentry and joinery, and the building services engineering, which Andy described as electrical installation, I would categorise those as almost like craft-based qualifications, but on steroids. They are the next advancement, and it really is an amalgamation of highly academic A-level type study with very high-end top level 3 craft-based, hand-based skills. That's how I would describe the difference between those 3 pathways, really.
I think I'm not sure what I would add to that, really. I think the craft on steroids is a good analogy. The students will be required to study to quite a high level around the theoretical side. There's a lot of maths and academic content going into the building services because of the safety and security, because of the design and planning that will now go into that as well. So there are quite strongly academic elements in the electrical, and there's going to be more of that in the joinery side as well. I guess my concern would be that somebody saw these pathways because one might lean more towards management as perhaps less rewarding careers. I think the fact is that you can be well remunerated, well paid, regardless of which pathway you take, because the construction industry has a shortage of skill levels across all roles in the industry, whether that be management or skills. And so there are going to be strong job opportunities regardless of which pathway you opt for. I think the question that I would want a young person to ask themselves would be, to what extent am I more comfortable working with my hands? To what extent am I more maths leaning perhaps rather than another subject, because that might lead you toward electric? Do I want to manage people? That might lead you towards the design and planning. So it would be a kind of examination of what your particular interests were to work out which route might best suit you as an individual.
And the only thing I would add to that is that if you go onto the college website and you look at the T-level course leaflets, there's a section in there that can tell you, about the types of roles you might progress into. But there's a website called Go Construct. If you go to that, if you just type Go Construct into your browser, there's a section on that website that tells you about the different types of roles within construction, and there are thousands. You won't ever have thought of half of them. I certainly hadn't. But what it does do, under each one of those, it tells you what the job entails, how you would get that role, and then interestingly enough, it then tells you what type of money you might actually get in terms of doing that work. So it's really interesting website. Again, it's Go Construct. Just type that into your browser and have a look at that section about the different careers that are available.
That's lovely. We'll pop that into the chat box as well. So we've got one more question, which is for yourselves. Somebody says, I have applied for architectural and construction engineering scholarship. what are the entry requirements? And then also, can you briefly explain what it stands for?
Architectural and Construction Engineering Scholarship is the blueprint that I talked about a little bit earlier, the course that we designed and ran to learn the lessons about what a T-level was going to be looking like, what it would look like for us as a college, what it would look like for a student, but just as importantly, what it would look like from an employer's point of view. So we've been working with a consortium of 10 significant constructors across Manchester for the last 2 years, putting that program together. So we're actually in quite a good position as a department compared to others, because to other colleges, because we've really been doing the T-level for 2 years and we're now about to launch into the full T-level. The answer to the question about the entry requirements is they are exactly the same as they are for the T-level. So what's going to happen is the scholarship program that person has applied for is actually going to morph into the T-level. We will still have a scholarship program because, as we said, we've got 14 places available on the T-level. So we'll be running a T-level plus a scholarship, and those 14 places for the T-level, we'll go through those selection processes like the summer school as we described, as will people who are applying for the scholarship program as well. But interestingly, you'd work with the same employers, you'd work on the same construction sites, you'd have the same teachers. You would be studying a different qualification. It won't be the same technical qualification that you would be studying. But the scholarship program's a fantastic program, has opened lots and lots of doors for lots of students, working with, as I said, that consortium of 10 really significant constructors across Manchester.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much. I don't think we haven't got any more questions left now. So is there anything that you guys would like to add before I wrap up the session this evening?
I think I would. Andy made a comment as he was doing his presentation about the face of construction is changing, and that is absolutely true. No longer is it someone in a mucky pair of overalls working on a building site in the rain. That is not what the construction industry is anymore. It's high tech. It's very, very digitally driven. We're talking, we're teaching students how to fly drones over building sites using 3D mapping software so that they can then build designs. If anybody has ever heard of Notre Dame Cathedral in France, you'll remember a few years ago that burned to the ground, and some of the people on the call might well remember the game called Assassin's Creed. Well, Assassin's Creed is actually set in Notre Dame, and the constructors and the contractors who are restoring and renovating Notre Dame Cathedral in Paris have actually reverse engineered the digital information from Assassin's Creed to see what the building should have looked like, because there were no plans. So they're using the reverse engineered digital information to build the plans to restore that building. That's where the construction industry is today. It's not hammer and chisel type stuff. It's far beyond that. It's more like Star Wars than that. That's what I would add. Fantastic opportunities, fantastic employers, really great opportunities.
That's great. Thank you so much, Chris. Andy, is there anything that you'd like to add to that?
I think that just about the nature of the T-level, it's a new qualification that might give some people some trepidation. As somebody who's been involved with the development and planning for our rollout of this, and as somebody in a past life who's worked very closely on A-level provision, people who are interested in the construction industry who might have considered A-levels really should consider this, even though it's a new qualification and that might make people nervous. The level of challenge and the level of interest that I think they'll get from the type of assessments that they will have to do. So it's not just an exam-based A-level, they will actually study real-life projects as part of their education and their development of their understanding. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for somebody who's interested in a specialist field, in spite of it being a new qualification. and the anxiety about whether it will last. I just think that this is a permanent investment on the part of the government to provide us with a technical qualification that has equal standing to A-levels. And so it's not going to go away, and you'll be trailblazers if you're qualified in a T-level.
That's great. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you everybody for joining the session this evening. We do have other school leaver events that focus on industry excellence until Tuesday evening. So if you were interested in any other courses, please visit the TMC Live website. So it's tmc.ac.uk/TMC Live. If you would like to watch any of our TMC Live sessions that took place in October, you can do this by visiting the same website and just go to the catch-up sessions there. All of this information is in the Q&A box. To apply to the Manchester College for September 2021, please visit our website. And you can also speak to some of our team this evening who are running a drop-in session until 8 o'clock tonight, and then they're also on tomorrow from 4 o'clock till 7. And again, you can join that session via the TMC Live website. For any learners who do have any special educational needs and disabilities, we do have a transition team who make that move from college from school to college a positive experience. So again, you can email them and their email address is in the chat box. Thank you very much again for joining us, and we hope you have a lovely evening. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.